Asterix, look! It's Unicron! Welcome, my students and scientists, and to a very special review. I have been lent the Haslab crowdfunded Wolf of Cybertron Siege Unicron. This figure I want to point out, by the way, no pictures and videos will do him justice, because it just, you need to be in awe of this figure. I do have a cameraman, it's Nightcap Gaming.
What's up?
And I believe he has a joke to make.
So Unicron is typically stated to be the devourer of planets. So if we got two Unicrons to fight, who do you think would win? I don't know, it's a planet buster round anyway.
Sure.
No.
So, to give it a first look at, as you can see, he is literally the 1986 movie Unicron, just with Siege port updates. If we get close here on this head sculpt here, you can see this glorious head sculpt. That would make even Orson Welles jealous. And yes, he can open his mouth. Continuing down, we've got some very lovely red aspects here and there with this nice bluish grey and silver taking up things. Now, one problem I do have with this figure is spinning him around on his included stand is the panels. But then again, that's understandable because I think Ingo sums up the best. He's a planet. And you're going to have panel forming and like that. For example, the third-party Cell 01. But we're here for Articulation. His head is on a very interesting set of joints. He can look down that far, he can look up that far, be like, that's a missile, right? As he can do not a full 360 due to this panel here, and his chin. His arms can... Sorry about that. Are very tight joints. Cat for scale. As you can tell, you get a swivel up at the bicep, a bend at the elbow, a wrist rotation. The thumb is hinged and got a ball joint there. Each of the fingers are individually posable and have two hinge joints. So he can do memes, which I'm not going to do here. This figure has a waist rotation. Fucking hell. And again, really clackety ratchet joints.
I'm flinching just hearing these.
The skirt panel can come up and his leg can come out that far. And that's just to show you how good the ratchet joints are.
And the stand.
Understand you? You get a very nice, just under 90 degrees of bend at the knee. And of course, the toes can move. So you can use Unicron here for a big walk. Oh, and the wings can rotate on the joint. Now, Unicron does transform into his planet, but I'm not going to transform him as well.
He's been told not to.
Yeah. But I can do this. That's right. You can reenact Transformers Season 3, in which Unicron's head got blown off his body. But more importantly, you can actually remove the faceplate and his chin. And replace it with two other ones. But one thing I want to show off is that there is this grey lever on the back here. You can move Unicron's eyes. One moment while I get this in. This is the part where I wish I had fingernails. But if you are going to replace the chin, do the chin first. Anyway, and there you go. Unicron in his Season 3 damaged eyes. And we get a close view on the eyes there. You can see that they are broken. And now if you had a go Starscream, you could reenact the scene where Unicron's like, hey, reattach me, also different chin. Reattach me to Cybertron so I can turn that into my planet, and that didn't work. Now he does come with a bunch of little figures and a miniature arc, but I don't want to get them just in case, just because too many small pieces would mean too much to do. But if you do have, and I'll go get them in a moment. So where's reattaching the head? One moment. Transformers, War for Cybertron, Kingdom, Galvatron, and Siege, Nemesis Prime from the Netflix spoiler series. They scale quite nicely with Unicron. And of course, if you have Scourge, Cyclonus, and the sweeps, you would have Unicron's Herald. So that is War for Cybertron, Siege, Haslab, Unicron. My final thoughts on him is he's too big. He's too much of a good, too much for what he is. I want to point out, this dude is $800, about $870, to pick up. So, having this set is just, this figure is, here we go, here is a price point that I spend way too much money on a Transformer that basically transforms into an orb. Other than that, he is, if you don't have him, and considering that he's one of 2 official toys we've got, and one of, I think there's 3 official toys. There's the Armada and Energon Unicron, Cybertron Unicron, which transforms into a tank. Oh wait, there's the Takara Unicron, which
we got a lot of Unicrons.
And then this thing. Frankly, I've got to say, if you want him, buy him. But one thing that I think Thew, another YouTuber, pointed out quite correctly with this figure, where the hell do you put him? Because he's big. You have to have a stand. He's got a stand. And I had him on a small table. He took up all the room on that table, basically. So, if you're going to get this figure, be cautious. You'll have to put a lot of area away for him. Because he basically would take up the center of your attention. Because everybody goes, holy crap. Anyway, so that has been Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Unicron. The review will continue on over the course of the next few days. With Kingdom Galvatron, Siege Nemesis Prime, Transformers 86 Scourge, and War for Cybertron Kingdom, Cyclonus. This is Don saying to you once Imperial, and I'll catch you next time. Bye! So we've reviewed the Master of Chaos himself, so let's take a look at some of the characters he has created. Just want to point out one thing. Welcome students and scientists to the continuation of the Unicron and his Herald reviews. Today we will be reviewing, oops, sorry about that, Transformers Kingdom, Leader Class Galvatron, Studio Series 86 Voyager Class Scourge, without any of his sweeps, and I kind of wish he'd stay standing, boy, and Kingdom Voyager Class Cyclonus, and with a representation of Transformers Netflix spoiler series Earthrise, War for Cybertron, Nemisis Prime. So we're going to start with Scourge and Cyclonus, the henchmen of Galvatron. And we're going to start with Cyclonus here. So, Scourge, I mean. Scourge here is the reanimated body of Thundercracker. Well, the sweeps were the reanimated bodies of one other Seeker. Well, no, the 2 Insecticons. And one other Seeker, I can't remember which. As you can see here, he is for the Studio Series 86 line, and he is to represent what he appeared into the film. And he is a very lovely figure. I am loving this blue. Take a rotation around. He does have a bit of back kibble, but that's to be expected with this line getting close here. He has a very lovely facial sculpt. Lovely purple eyes. I'm actually loving the slight pinkage on the claws and his fingers there. Articulation-wise, his head is on a ball joint. Can go only that way due to the fact that the goatee here. This little numpty bit here is on a swivel joint. Arms can't go back due to the backpack, but you can angle the backpack away and slightly move the arms out to give them a full 360-degree arm. They can go out and in. Very tight swivel at the elbow. Over 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. And, of course, a little bit of... I thought they had a little bit of wrist articulation, but they do not. Some waist articulation. I need to just bump that. Legs can go forward that far. You can go back that far. Bend of 90 degrees at the knee. And a weird foot angle. Accessories, he does come with his rifle, which is a very lovely blue plastic. And you can hold it in either hand. It's just better fits in this hand. So he is definitely a real nice pickup. And he does transform. To transform Scourge into its alternate mode. Did they ever give a name to that? I don't remember. You want to come to the feet and fold in his heel spurs. Fold down his toes. And there you've got his legs done. Come to the arms and basically pull them off his body. And as you're doing so, you're going to get them down. And this tab here is going to go into this screw, which is a slot for that. And you're also going to tab it into place, because I've just now noticed this hole and tab here. And that's going to keep his legs and arms supported. You're going to fold the wings down, and then basically unfold everything on the back, because you're going to need all of it. Straighten it out, bring this part down, and leave it as it is. With the wings, you're basically going to play collapse, and then they're going to tab up the front here. You're going to come here and fold out this part, which is going to go back here, and bring it down, like so. And as you do so, there's a T-tab here. Let's get it on camera. That's going to clip. There's a clip there. And there you basically have to wrestle it on the T-clip. And now it's on camera, it doesn't want to play nice, does it? There we go. Like so. And bring up this pylon. Second verse is much like the first. Get this down and get it all nice and squozen, to quote Imgo. Bring it down, rolling it down. Tab at the back here. There's a tab and slot there, that's just a bit hard to see. Bring it down over the T-slot, and then bring these little winglets in. And now you've got Scourge in that... Oh, when you bring this up. Now you have Scourge in that one scene from 1986. Bring this little panel forward, and there you've got Scourge after bringing this up in his spaceship mode. And the gun can, with this little tab here, fit on either one of these ports here. These don't like staying tabbed in, unfortunately, which is my only complaint. Or they can tab in the back of the feet here, and if you've got blast effects, they can fit in on these points here. My only complaint with this mode, and Scourge in general, is he doesn't really... Well, he's a bit awkward, really. Not as awkward as the Studio Series 86 Rodimus, but he is awkward, so there you go. Now on to Cyclonus, the master of controversy himself. Because before we can even review the figure, I have a theory to introduce on who became what. Transform fans ever since 1986 has been always confused on which Transformer became Cyclonus, Skywarp, or Bombshell. Because in the film we introduced the Cyclonus and his armada, but we're never told who is who. Well, here's my theory. Throughout Season 3 and through the Japanese continuity, Cyclonus can use various degrees of mind control, as well as teleportation. So instead of pick and choosing one part, Bombshell and Skywarp were merged to form Cyclonus. They both were. So essentially Cyclonus was both Bombshell and Skywarp at one stage of his life, but Unicron merged them together. And he, out of the Kingdom Voyager line, is gorgeous. Of course, he does come with his gun, which is a very nice silver. You get some light piping. Not only that, but you get a very lovely figure. I'm loving the purples and the different purples, the lavender in that. It's a very nice contrast compared to Scourge's blue and Galvatron's purple. Articulation-wise, his head is on a ball joint, is on a swivel joint, and a couple of joints, so you can look really figure out. I'm gonna trail cutter. Arms can do a full 360. They can go in and out. You get on my figure at least, you get a very loose swivel here, and about 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, and of course a little bit of wrist articulation. Oh, you do get a little bit of waist articulation. Legs can go forward that far, they can go back that far, and they can bend at the knee. And you get a little bit of foot tiltage. I have to say, Cyclonus really did surprise me, and he's one of the few really good figures from Kingdom. Like, most of the Kingdom line has either been hit or miss. I have to be honest. Even Galvatron there is a bit of a... Well, we'll cover him in a moment. But he is still a good figure. Now, to get him to transformation, I absolutely love this figure's transformation. So we're going to start up here with the arms. First of all, you're going to bring the wings out on this hinge joint. Up. Rotate the arms 180 degrees, because this tab here is going to go on... Well, this tab here is going to go onto this slot. Fold out this wing. Come to the arm and push on the hand up and rotate the hand in. Fold in. Now, you have Mega Man.
Wrong arm.
I know it's the wrong arm. Thinking I kept gaming. Who was my cameraman for this?
Oh.
Second verse, much like the first. I mean, who would have thought Cyclonus having a secret Mega Man, secret double Mega Man arm blaster mode. Now he too can defeat Bomb Man. Come to the legs and you don't fold them in, but this tab, and this slot, this post, and that slot. Gonna get them all together. Get them all nice and squozen. Fold the feet down so you can bring back the... You want to fold the knees in slightly so you can get these fully up. Bring out the thrusters and fold in the feet. Bring that down and bring it nice and closed on Cyclonus. You're going to fold, you're then going to compress everything and fold it in. Now, we get to the fun part. Untab his arms. Slightly rotate this around and unfold his front and his back. Bring this back up so you can, and bring the arms out so you can fully bring this down. Fold, rotate this part around. Unfold this cone to bring out another cone. Then, there's more to this Russian nesting doll. Unfold that cone to bring out the front cone, and if you have no fingernails like myself, use Scourge's gun, because there's a little nub bit there, to bring out the full nose cone. Close everything up, and there you've got Cyclonus' nose canopy. I love the fact that it's a Russian nesting doll tactic of that, and it creates why I love this figure so much. Come to the back, bring this part down, because these two tabs, well, this tab here that you formed is now going to go into the back of the plane cockpit. Fold down the arms, rotate the arms around, and then this tab here is going to go into this, well, this slot tab here is going to go into this slot here. I don't know why I keep calling it that. And second verse, much like the first, and here you've got Cyclonus in a very lovely jet mode. And I have to say, the Russian nesting doll for the nose canopy, more of that, please. Because it creates a very clean robot mode and alt mode. And the only thing that's really suffering on the figure that I have to be honest of is the knees, but that is just because I don't really like the way they're constructed. And yes, Cyclonus has landing gear. So you can sit here, and of course, the gun this tab goes into the slot up on the roof here. And if you did get the Micromasters, you know, you can give him his Micromaster, which I forget which one it is. But that is a gorgeous playing mode. And for the final review of this Galavtron, who, holy shit. So, Studio Kingdom's Galavtron, now Legacy Galavtron as well, is a step up from what we got in Titan's Return. If everybody remembers that hot mess, which I will be reviewing in the near future, you will know how infinitely better, just remove Giza, this figure is. He is chonk. He has head articulation. He has a cannon that actually works, I've got to be honest. I will review that figure later. But yes, Kingdom's Galavtron was released in the third wave of the Kingdom leader line, alongside Ultra Magnus, who, like Optimus Prime, has had a figure throughout the entire War for Cybertron Siege line, and is now one of the new baddies for, you guessed it, the Transformers Legacy line. And oh, look at that paint. This damage paint is not as bad as it is on some of the other stuff. I love it quite well. And as you can see, his legs are very G1. So articulation-wise, head is on a ball joint. It goes down, goes up this far. Arms can do a full 360 degrees. Then go in and out. They can actually go all the way up and out. You get a swivel at the bicep there. Just be careful of this tread, because this tab goes into the screw slot in the back. Double jointed elbows due to transformation. Nothing at a little bit of inward wrist articulation due to the transformation. Some very nice waist articulation. Side panel articulation. Legs can go out and go forward that far, and they can go back just a little bit due to this kibble here. A very nice bend at the knee, and of course, due to this tab here, you don't really get much ankle tilt. You do get a little bit of ankle tiltage, as you can see there. Holy crap! Oh, and some shoulder articulation. This figure is a major step up from what we got in Titan's Return, and his transformation is a bit interesting. First of all, you want to take off the cannon and then split the barrel. He does come with 2 guns and the Matrix of Leadership, but I'm not going to go grab them as accessories as well, just because stuff. Come to the back and untab everything. You're going to bring this part back and sit it there. Come to the sides and untab everything, because this tab will just go into the body here. This tab will go into that part there. You want to basically make sure that these are still together, because it's just going to make this alt transformation a little bit less hectic. You're going to untab this back part and fold the head. Remove his crotch pit. Yep, that one's falling off. You want to hold this down somehow. Now it's on camera, it's fighting me. Did I do something wrong? Oh yes, you want to untab this whole assembly. Apparently. Bring that down. Bring this down. Then you want to fold. Keep pushing that off. Bring this down. Like so. You need to unfold the arms. Try to remember. So we'll bring that back. Right. You also want to unfold. You want to fold these side panels up and out of the way, because you're going to fold this part down like so. And where you're at it, because now you've extended the arms, this tab here, this slot here is going to go onto this tab on his side bit there, because that's going to lock that in place for you to take this side panel, because there's a slot in there. It's going to tab onto the shoulder panels. That is to keep his arms in place. And second verse, much like the first, want to come to the arms, you want to fold in his hands, and then this tab here is going to go into the shoulder panel, his shoulder, up like that, and then you're going to bring the treads forward. Second verse, much like the first. And there you go. You have his arms done, basically. The instructions don't actually tell you what to do with the other bits, and this leads into a bit of a problem, because we'll cover that when we get to it. So now we come to the legs. The legs are actually the easiest. Unfold these these tabs here. Fold these out. Fold in the heel spurs, and then you're basically going to rotate the legs around, so they're like this, and you're just going to unfold. Everything's just going to unfold from inside the legs. You're going to tab them together, like so. You're going to bring these down, because they are going to sit like that. Tab everything together, get them all nice and squozen. And there you go, you've got Kingdoms. Oh, hang on a minute, I'm not fully finished Galavtron. That was a joke, by the way. To angle the feet down, you're going to take this part, and it's going to go into this back post here to flesh out the back. Like I said, there's a lot of angling and such. You're going to take the cannon bit, and this tab is going to go up the front here. And you now have Kingdom Galvatron in his cannon mode, and holy crap, it's a lot better than what we got for Siege. Not Siege, Titan's Return. Because that thing was a triple changer, if you remember. Hasbro, a word of the wise, never do that again with Galvatron. He is canon. But you could also argue that you can do a little bit of a alteration. But he is very lovely. As I mentioned before, these treads are, you can angle them as much as you want. You know, you can even, if you've got the Studio 86 Coronation Starscream, you can even reenact that one scene where Galavtron blows the crap out of Starscream. Unfortunately, the one scene you're never going to be able to reanimate is Galavtron riding in Cyclonus hair, because unfortunately we can't mass shift toys. Now, unfortunately, Galavtron does have a bit of a downside in cannon mode. It is, these two parts here do not do anything. They just sit there. Even on the instructions, they just sit there. And it's annoying, because if you move the arms on the shoulder joint, you're going to move this entire thing. This can actually have unforeseen consequences of untabbing the shoulders and the entire arm assembly that you have to keep the whole figure in place. Not only that, but it can sometimes cause your figure to go cause these bits to move out. I kind of wish there was a tab, or a couple of tabs at the bottom of the chest plate here that you could tab these two parts into to give a bit more stability for Kingdom Galvatron here. Other than that, Kingdom Galvatron is the updated G1 Transformer. Now, I'm going to get my lovely assistant to pause this while I get them all back to robot mode. Go. So there we go. We have all of the Heralds of Galavtron. Now, you're probably wondering why I didn't buy a second Cyclonus or more of the sweeps. It is because, really, it's up to you if you want to get them. But these, because they're all named, are the Heralds of Unicron. We have Galavtron, who was Megatron. Nemisis Prime, who was Optimus Prime. Scourge, who was Thundercracker. And Cyclonus, who was both Bombshock and Skywarp, all now reforged into Cyclonus, the Hunter. Scourge and his sweeps, and Galavtron to lead them. And when he's able to finally corrupt Optimus Prime, and Nemesis Prime. Now, if you want to know where the inspiration for Nemesis Prime came from as a Unicron thing, it started out in Armada, which is what I'm going to touch on about in the episode Nemesis. But it came fully into being through Rooster Teeth's Transformers War for Cybertron Beast, Siege, Earthrising Kingdom series on Netflix in the Kingdom arc. So, there you go. Again, once again, huge thank you to the man who let me borrow War for Cybertron Haslab Unicron. Huge thank you to Blazon for letting me borrow his Galvatron. And again, for helping me acquire not only, all three figures of Scourge, Cyclonus, and Nemesis Prime. That ends the War for Cybertron series and studio series, a part of the review for the Unicron stuff. I will be touching on 2 different other forms of Galvatron, Titan Master Galvatron and RAD-01 Galvatron, but RAD-01 Galvatron will be in a massive review with my RID figures. But yeah, other than that, fear the Chaos Bringer. Stay in the light, and remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing.
I don't think you could use that.
I can, it's a free thing.
Oh.
It's not just Titan Team Green, but it's the one who popularized. This is the Glavatron G1 Superior, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!